This one seems to be alive. What a lucky guy. At least death would have saved him from the dreams. Let's go and see what value Sidorovich will put on your head.
What have you got?
A body. It came from the death truck. It's got the mark.
Well, you know the drill. Leave him on
This is a live one.
Bullshit! You are lying!
Let the zone take me if I am.
Put it here! I think, for this one, I can give you...
S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
There goes your chopper. You're next, you political scumbags. You Stalker,
son of a
help
bitch.
us. We were attacked by mercs and half of our team was killed. Help us, and I promise you won't regret it. Help us break through the ambush by the plant. I've uploaded the coordinates. Watch out. Wolfhound and his crew are by the chopper. That's it, you egghead moron. Either you give me the results or you leave this place in a body bag. If you attack, I will destroy the information. You won't get my word.
Fang, we can't just leave him like that.
Just leave him. There is nothing we can do for him. The blowout is minutes away and we won't get through with him.
No, Fang, I'm not leaving him.
If this is so important, why didn't you explain what you are going there for? And where did you get this photo from?
If you only knew where I've just been and what I saw.
One day you'll finish badly, Strelok. Hold on, son. You're going to make it. Where will you go now?
To the north.
Up. Oh, this better. You had me worried. What the hell are you doing, man? Have you lost your memory or something? You were the one who suggested that we take this precaution. At least At least you're still alive. Look, Strelok, we've got no time, so I need you to listen to me. Everything you have said about the monolith is true. All of it. It is just an illusion manufactured in a lab next to the sarcophagus. And nobody who reached the monolith has ever come back. Looks like they have died there. But anyway, while you're away, I dug up some more info. And basically, there is a decoder to open the door which leads to the monolith controls. And this decoder is hidden in a stash in Pripyat. I am going to give you the coordinates of this stash, and I'm giving you the key to open it. I want you to take the decoder, and I want you to find the door in the sarcophagus. And then you'll know what to do. But it seems that this is the only way of uncovering the zone's real secret. This is the one you have been trying to work out, Strelok.
What you want is here, Stalker. Come.
Humanity is corrupt. Mankind must be controlled. I don't know whether I was right or wrong. I guess I'll never know. But I made it. And I guess I should be thankful for that.
At 0123 on April 26, 1986, the reactor of Power Block 4 of Chernobyl NPP is destroyed following a series of thermal explosions. The resulting radioactive cloud moves across the European part of the USSR, Eastern Europe, and Scandinavia, eventually reaching America. The consequences of the disaster are so serious that the government is forced to begin evacuating the residents of nearby towns and villages. A 30-kilometer exclusion zone is created to stop residents from returning to the contaminated area. Despite the disaster, the Chernobyl NPP continues to operate. The existence of a power station, as well as the fact that the area is no longer inhabited, leads the Council of Ministers of the USSR to set up a network of secret laboratories in the exclusion zone. June 11th, 2006. The exclusion zone lights up with a flash of blinding light as clouds can be seen evaporating in the sky. After a moment of complete silence, a peal of thunder shakes the ground. Most of the government forces guarding the perimeter are killed instantly. 2008. Scientists are still unable to explain what happened. Rare expeditions into the zone usually end in tragedy, with survivors telling stories of mutated animals with incredible abilities roaming the area. According to various estimates, by 2010, the zone is home to between 100 and 300 unknown individuals. They call themselves Stalkers and make their living by collecting anomalous formations known as artifacts, which they sell for considerable sums of money. 2011. Despite military cordons, the Stalker phenomenon is growing in numbers. However, Stalkers travel primarily around the zone's edges, with the center remaining terra incognita. The few attempts to penetrate deeper into the zone have all ended in failure. 2012. A stalker called Striełoka solves the secret of the brain scorcher, a man-made emitter that had blocked the way to the center of the zone for years. After the brain scorcher is disabled, all stalkers rush for the center of the zone. Some in hopes of finding a treasure trove of artifacts, others in search of a wish granter. The government decides to launch a large-scale military operation. Operation Fairway, as it came to be known, involves using maps of anomaly fields to maneuver helicopters to the CNPP. Despite meticulous preparation, the operation is a failure, and none of the helicopters return from the mission. Major Dekhtyrov, a USS special agent, is sent into the zone to investigate the disappearance of the helicopters. Disguised as a stalker, equipped with a regular assault rifle, 2 weeks' worth of supplies, and a radio to communicate with HQ, the Major begins his journey towards the center of the zone.
Look, we've got these here artifacts, and we can get more of them. In exchange, we're looking for weapons and some good equipment.
You know that I've got whatever Duty's got, so weapons and equipment are not a problem. All my stuff...
All the electronics inside burned out. Even the power cable sheaths melted. Looks like the crew died in midair and the helicopter simply crashed because there was nobody there to fly it. The onboard computer was a little luckier. I wonder if there's anything useful here. Ah, there's something. A map of the area with certain locations marked. That should come.
Watch carefully and follow me.
Information on the onboard computer. Okay. So Stingray 3 had engine failure in both engines. What else is there? A map with what look like possible evacuation locations. Positions B2, B28, and B205. Interesting. Here we are. Yanov Station is a haven of relative safety in the area around Jupiter. This is where we go our separate ways. But if you need me, look for me by the bar.
First time here? I'm relatively new here myself. The name's Nitro. I work with equipment. I can repair anything you need. But getting some good tools is a problem around here. If you see anything, bring it straight to me. And if you need any technical help, come see me and I'll be glad to do what I can for you.
2 bodies. Looks like they died in the crash. Everything of value has been looted and the onboard computer has been wiped clean. But the black box is still intact. Interesting. I reckon a decent technician will be able to extract...
Let's see if I was right. Looks like I was right after all. Shoot those bastards down.
There we go. That's better.
Good to go?
Ready? What? I'm always ready.
Also, ready. I have a bad feeling about this.
Everyone's ready. Open it up.
Roger. Let's rock.
That's good. Go.
Good luck, boys.
Put your weapons on the ground, now!
Don't shoot! I'm Lieutenant Sokolov, co-pilot of Stingray 4. I'm on my way to B-28, the emergency position.
I have information for Kowalski. Take me to him.
You know Kowalski?
Who are you? What's your business with the commander?
I'm Major Dektyrev, USS. I'm here to investigate the failure of Operation Fairway.
USS? What the...
I knew it!
You're a merry gang, ain't you?
What do you think, we're here for fun? Why so trigger-happy? Can't you see that we're all friends here? Me and Agent have been through a lot. Trust me on that.
Okay. Follow me.
I'm not going. I have no business with the army. Or the USS.
Hold it.
Let him go, Captain.
Fine. Screw him.
And I don't give a rat's ass who's working for...
Received a message from the recon unit.
What the hell is that? Wait! We're all dead. Help! Someone help me! Get that thing away from me! No!
Recon unit, come in. What is going on out there? We need to find the recon unit. Major, find out what happened. What the hell? You be careful out there, okay? And Major, keep me posted.
I found the unit. They're all dead. Looks like they were shot, but there's no trace of the enemy.
It's those damn fanatics. They don't let up. We're also missing a sentry. He's not answering, and there's not a trace of him either. We've got to take care of those bastards once and for all.
The recon unit had information about the location of monolith forces. The notes indicate the bookstore.
Very well. I'll be sending 2 boys your way. They'll meet you near the target.
Kowalski, something strange is going on here. There were loads of monolith fighters inside the building. They were all in a trance and talking to a pile of trash. I examined this pile, and if you cut through the crap, it resembles a primitive antenna. It seems that someone talks to them through this antenna, and they believe it to be divine intervention.
This is all very strange. Someone's controlling these fanatics. We'll get back to this later. Our sentry hasn't showed up yet, so let me know if you find him. Over and out. We've got a serious problem. This operation has been getting more ridiculous every minute since the helicopters crashed. The men are dropping like flies. We've got no comms with HQ, and the situation just keeps getting worse. The evacuation choppers didn't show up again. And at this rate, it won't be long before we lose control of the situation completely. We need to establish communications with HQ right now. Our communications expert believes that the signal is being jammed from somewhere close to us. He's working on getting the coordinates as we speak. I sent some of my men to check out a possible source of the interference, but they went missing, and their personal signals aren't registering. Major, one of your objectives is to establish communications with HQ. Given the situation we find ourselves in, this should be your priority from now on. Also, as a personal favor to me, please find my boys.
Base, I found one of your men. It looks like he blew himself up with a grenade. There are no signs of a firefight or any other evidence of him being attacked.
Kowalski here. Roger that, Major. Hey, I got good news. We finally acquired the exact coordinates of the source of interference. The signal is coming from the kindergarten building.
Is that really you? Well, I'll be. We were starting to think we'd never see our doc again. So what happened?
Well, it's a long story. I'll tell you another time.
Okay. Thanks for your help. By the way, the Colonel wants you to pay him a visit.
Thanks. I'll do that.
Also, Gary headed for Yanov's station to restock. He asked me to tell you that he won't be back for a few days.
Gotcha.
I spoke to the HQ commander and reported the situation to him along with all the information that's been collected. There won't be any helicopter support for a while. He suggested that we fortify our position and await further orders. USS observers are currently at the HQ, so you'll be able to talk to your superiors soon enough.
Colonel, a radio signal has been detected, and its source is not far from the base. The transmission is encrypted, and I haven't been able to crack it yet.
Do you have the coordinates?
Yes, I have the coordinates, but the signal is intermittent, and it's moving.
Monolith again?
In entrance.
Who are you?
My name is S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
You're the stalker who disabled the Scorcher?
Yes, but my plan didn't work. I came here to speak with your commanders. I have information that will allow the army to take control of the zone and destroy it.
And the mission is starting.
Come, let's talk inside.
We've got a problem. Our choppers are crashing for reasons that we've not understood yet.
Until we work it out, there won't be any helicopter support. The only way to get to the borders of the zone is on foot.
The reasons are obvious. There are many anomalies in the air, especially in the center of the zone.
We had a map with the safe air corridor between anomalies, and the helicopters had emission protection systems.
That's odd. You're telling me you haven't noticed that anomalies move around after an emission. Some disappear, and new ones show up in different places, which makes your map of anomalies effectively useless.
So that's what it is.
What?
Emissions don't just follow one another. If you can scan the area and identify all the anomalies, the choppers will be able to collect us safely, provided they're dispatched right after an emission.
We must inform the HQ of this as soon as possible.
I'll contact my commanders right after the emission.
Major, do you read me?
Major Degtyarev here. I read you.
Good. As of this moment, you are responsible for completing Operation Fairway. Kowalski and the Stingray Squad will assist you. Report.
I've managed to acquire documents about experiments carried out in the zone. Furthermore, we've been contacted by a stalker who's been in the CNPP. His name is S.T.A.L.K.E.R, and he's offered us his cooperation.
Roger. Accept his offer. You know what caused our helicopters to crash?
Yes, I have the data, and S.T.A.L.K.E.'s information confirms it. The helicopters were hit by anomalies after their locations changed during the emission. The anomaly map issued to the pilots turned out to be useless.
Good. That means we have until the next emission. You'll be collected together with the stalker from position B28. Stingray Squad will be evacuated with you. The birds are already in the air.
Не уйдешь!
Major Degtyarev, you ready to go? Get to that shot. I hope it's worth it.
As a reward for successfully completing his investigation, Degtyarev was offered a promotion to colonel and the position of mission coordinator. He declined the opportunity to work at the HQ and submitted a personal request to be sent to the zone as the USS Permanent Observer. The information about the development of psi devices obtained by Degtyarev alerted USS commanders. all the information gathered on X-designated laboratories was removed from military archives and filed as top secret. All personnel working in the zone were ordered to prevent the disclosure of information about the laboratories at any cost. Several experimental samples were made on the basis of technical documents for Item 62. Following a set of test trials, it was decided not to go ahead with large-scale deployment of the weapon due to the high cost of ammunition. Nonetheless, it would be reasonable to assume that further development of the Gauss rifle is ongoing. Sultan and his gang left the Skadovsk to do their shady business elsewhere after their attempts to capture the ship failed. The ensuing feeling of relative safety among stalkers led to a massive increase in the number of artifacts sold to Beard, causing his business to boom, while the formerly quiet Skadovsk bar became as popular as the famous 100 Rods bar, despite being almost in the center of the zone. Following the destruction of the Bloodsucker Lair, it's unlikely that anything could significantly change the state of affairs on the Skadovsk. The old ship became a temporary center of stability in the ever-changing world that is the zone. Reinforcements and growing popularity among stalkers allowed Duty's advanced squad to rid Yanov Station of freedom. The ensuing firefight saw Loki and what was left of his squad eliminated for good. The scientific expedition, organized by Professors Herman and Ozersky, was a success. The data they collected facilitated the development of groundbreaking medicine and technology, which prompted the Ministry of Education to allocate additional funding for researching the zone. Gary's stories about the Army's struggle against the dangers of Pripyat encouraged stalkers to explore the ghost town. Despite the constant monolith attacks, stalkers managed to secure the former army camp, which they used as a base to launch raids deep into the city, making slow but steady progress. The legend of the Oasis stopped being a legend. The identity of those who managed to find a way to the secret anomaly became an increasingly regular topic of conversation among stalkers. Despite this, the number of adventurers trying to find it remained high, something the bandits were quick to take advantage of, with constant offers to lead stalkers to the Oasis, which usually ended in muggings at a safe distance from stalker camps. Organized mercenary squads continue to be active in the zone. Their interest in the secret laboratories is becoming increasingly difficult for USS operatives to ignore. Attempts to establish the identity of the client who hired the mercenaries proved unsuccessful. The area around Yanov Station continues to attract growing numbers of stalkers. The lack of dangerous mutants and abundance of anomalous areas have led to the area being referred to as a treasure trove, with increasing regularity. Zulu returned to Duty's main base at the Rostov plant. Nobody knows what he discussed with the leader of Duty, General Voronin, but several days later he was spotted at the head of a large squad on its way to the center of the zone. Vano headed off to the Freedom-controlled military warehouses, where his cheerful personality and optimism quickly earned him the popularity they merited. Ultimately, he took charge of a small group of researchers involved in investigating anomalous areas. A new group appeared in the zone. They are well trained, but their objectives are not known. Rumors say they used to be monolith fighters. Their leader is known as Strider. Senior Lieutenant Sokolov continued to take part in flying missions over the zone. During one such recon flight over Murmansk, his aircraft was shot down by mercenaries. 2 weeks later, he was picked up by a patrol near the cordon. Within a month of his rescue, Sokolov had left the Air Force, joining a civil airline instead. A group of stalkers was forced to seek shelter on Noah's old barge during a particularly powerful emission. When the barge was attacked by a horde of snorks afterwards, stalkers were forced to concede that the barge was as good a defense against mutants as anything they'd seen. Even more astonishing was a litter of pseudo-dog puppies that Noah himself led into battle against the snorks. Having found out about his friend's fates, Cardin gave up dreams of a stalker career. Having overcome his alcoholism, he moved to Yanov, where he partnered up with Nitro to set up a full-service repair shop. Both technicians gladly devote all their spare time to building a vehicle that could operate in the zone. S.T.A.L.K.E.R passed on the information he obtained on his trip to the Chernobyl NPP to the USS commanders. This prompted the government to create a scientific institute for research of the Chernobyl anomalous area. S.T.A.L.K.E.R took up the position of chief scientific consultant to the institute. When Colonel Kowalski, commander of the Stingray Group, returned from the zone, he was forced to explain the reasons for the failure of Operation Fairway. Following a dragged-out investigation and the brass's failed attempt to make him the fall guy, the colonel was finally given an honorable discharge.